When it comes to survival cooking, you're probably going to think about some form of campfire cooking that uses a Dutch oven or a foil wrap or something like that. But one of the most effective tools may be a wok. Here's how to use a wok on a homemade biomass stove using a really simple recipe that only has 4 ingredients.
The key to wok cooking is preparation. So what I did before I came out here, made some rice, scrounged around for some vegetables in the kitchen, happened to find these, 2 eggs, and the meat. Now the meat could be anything. This happens to be chicken. You could use squirrel, rabbit, or whatever you could find. You need some sort of an oil, and then you need something to stir it with. I'm just going to use this spatula. Meanwhile, back at the stove, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but we have some heat kicking out there. So what I'm going to do is put the grill on top, and we're going to get started. I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of oil here in the bottom. When it starts to bubble and look really hot, then we'll start browning the chicken. I want this oil to be really hot before I put any of the meat in here, so I'm going to try it with 1 strip. Okay, it's hot. So I'm going to put the rest in. One of the beauties for wok cooking in a survival situation is you're not having to use a lot of oil or anything like that. I'm doing quite well with a couple teaspoons here, and I am browning this chicken to the point where we can continue on with the dish. When this is browned sufficiently, I'm going to remove it so I have more room to work with the vegetables and the eggs. So the meat's over on the picnic table. I'm going to flash fry this egg. I have 2 of them here. You can put in as many as you have. This might be one of those ingredients you can barter or trade or find somewhere. Okay, we've got kind of a not well done scrambled egg here. So I'm going to remove this now, put in a little more oil, and then we will saute the vegetable. Now if you were foraging for food, this would be a good time to put in some of those greens that don't necessarily taste that good. This would be a great way to cook cattail. We just happen to have these vegetables I foraged from my refrigerator. I'm going to cook these until they're kind of wilted, but I don't want them to get overcooked. And this is something you'll have to decide for yourself because maybe you like crunchy vegetables. Personally, I like broccoli when it's a little crisp. So I'm not going to cook this too much. Now this is looking pretty done. The chicken's starting to brown. The vegetables appear to be cooked. So I'm going to add the rice. We're going to add however much rice we happen to have. In this case it was maybe a cup or something like that. The rice is where you can stretch this recipe. If you have a lot of people to feed, add more rice. Well, I'm going to declare this done, and I'm going to go over and put it in a bowl, and then let's take a look at it.
Survival cooking doesn't need to be elaborate, it just needs to taste good. This is survivalcommonsense.com. Thank you for watching.